Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome. How are you, people? I hope I am being audible and visible. Am I audible and visible? So, today's topic is going to be 5-year plans. Am I right? So, I hope I am being audible and visible. Correct? Okay. So, before just starting the topic, let me make you go through our super practice app, super practice tests in Oliveboard. So, we have something called super practice tests where you can topic wise practice various tests. So like suppose quant mein basic number system is there, you can go and you can see level 1 test is there, you can go ahead and give the test, correct? Then level 2 is there, level 3, and then there is separate test for past year questions. So you'll get past year questions separately. Most repetitive questions, speed improvement test is also there, and revision test is also there. Okay, now this is topic wise. Reasoning also same thing, similarity. We have level 1, level 2. General awareness, we have various tests for a normal test is there, and past year test question, pre-PYQ question is there, previous year questions. Is a very important and good feature. Please try to utilize it. Okay. Uh, Quite helpful if you are a serious candidate who wants to analyze their mock tests in deep. So that is good. Practice tests, and you can practice more and more. Okay. Okay. So I hope everything is good. Am I visible and audible? Okay. Chalo. So let us start. So post independence in 1947, India faced a structural vacuum. Now, what vacuum? The government required a system that will simultaneously engineer industrialization also, and it will address rural poverty also. So, we had to address industrialization plus poverty both, correct? After independence, and establish strategic public sector enterprise. So, we wanted both industrialization part also and agriculture also. We had to cater to both. So it was not a pure ideological answer, correct? That we take a socialist system or we take a capitalist system, but it was a mix. It was a hybrid of capitalism and socialism. It was a hybrid of capitalism and socialism. So what India chose? India chose a hybrid system of capitalism and socialism. Knowing the 5-year plans, you should know the foundation of it, why it came, correct? So India chose a hybrid model. Now, what is capitalist system? Distribution of produced goods is divided not by need but by purchasing power, merit, free market. This is all is capitalism, private property, correct? Socialist system dictates production based entirely on needs, state owned and controlled. Am I right? So state owned and controlled. Capitalism is more of an open economy. Socialist is more of a closed economy. Which one did we choose? One or two? We chose both. We chose the mixed economic system. Now, in this, the market provides what it can produce efficiently, while the government steps in to provide essential goods and services. So, market will do its job, but government will step in whenever it is required. So, we chose a mixed economic system. Okay, I hope till here it is clear. So India adopted a socialist society framework characterized by a strong public sector, but uniquely retained private property and democratic political structure. So it was a hybrid of everything, correct? So just seeing the evolution, the first plan ever which came was Bombay Plan. This was before independence. It was focused on rapid industrialization to alleviate inflation caused hardships, developing consumer goods, abolishing the zamindari. Around independence, Bombay Plan had come. Gandhian plan was there. It was defined by Acharya Shriman Narayan Agarwal. He advocated that economic decentralization must happen and promotion of small scale cottage industries must happen. Then third was People's Plan, drafted by M.N. Roy, 10-year period. It prioritized agriculture production, balanced carefully with industrialization. Okay, and then came the Sarvodaya Plan. It was by Jay Prakash Narayan, and he prioritized agriculture, land reforms, strongly advocated for decentralization. So before 5-year plans, we had four plans. Okay, you can remember it by this mnemonic BGPS. BGPS, Bombay Gandhian People's Plan and Sarvodaya Plan. You should know the chronology of this. So I have briefly told you what was there in these plans. Bombay Plan focused on rapid industrialization. Gandhian Plan focused on decentralization, correct? Economic decentralization. People's Plan was drafted by M.N. Roy. He prioritized both agriculture and industrialization, and Sarvodaya Plan focused on agriculture and land reforms and focusing on decentralization. Okay, so I hope I am being audible. Um, okay, so we had to induce planning, correct? So a planning commission was established in 1950, whose chairperson was the Prime Minister himself. It was made to execute the 5-year plans. Okay, we'll be studying about this. Afterwards, from 2015, this planning commission was abolished and 2015 Niti Aayog was put. Okay, so now this planning, this 5-year planning done by planning commission had four pillars. First was growth. First pillar was growth, basically increasing India's nation's capacity to produce goods and services via larger stock of higher efficiency. So first thing was growth. India has to grow. Correct? This was the first pillar. Second was modernization, adopting new technology to increase production and shifting social outlooks. The second pillar was modernization. We have to grow, but also via the process of modernization. Okay, now modernization just doesn't mean technical, it also means on society, like recognizing equal right for women. So modernizing not just based on technology, but also based on social structure. Correct? Third pillar was self-reliance. Very important. We had planned that nation's own resources should be used instead of importing material. Nation's own resources, dominant priority of first 7 5-year plans. This is the dominant priority of first 7 5 years plan to increase self-reliance. And fourth was equity, reducing wealth inequality. This is not that stocks wala equity, yeah. So it was to reduce wealth inequality primarily implemented in agriculture through stringent land reforms and land ceilings. Basically, more of you can say equality, equal distribution. reducing wealth inequality. So these four pillars have guided all the 5 year plans. Okay. So all the 5 year plans, they rotate around these four pillars. Okay. Chalo. So this is the evolution of 5 year plans, not the exact 5 year plans, just the evolution. Okay. So among first few of the first 5 year plans, that is Harrod Dormer, it focused on the dual character of capital accumulation and enhancing production capacity. Okay. So it focused on capital accumulation, increasing national income and production capacity. Then eventually we transformed to Nehru Mahalanobis model. This was second. Two sector model. We'll see about it. Consumer goods versus capital goods. It had prioritized investment in heavy industries to force rapid industrialization. Just a moment. Okay. Then going post 1991, we had Rao Manmohan model. Correct. So this was in response to the crisis which happened, the current account deficit and foreign exchange reserve crisis. Correct. Balance of payment crisis, and then finally we evolved to Amartya Sen model, that is human centric model. Correct. More in the 2000s. Correct. So it was, the pure focus was human capacity development, human development, participatory development, fundamental freedom. This didn't talk about, Amartya Sen model didn't just talk about economics. It talked about human as a central part of economics. So this is the evolution of the plans you can see here over period of time. Now we will look one by one into the plan. Okay, what were these plans? First plans, you can say first, second, and third 5 year plans, they had focused on basic capital goods and early agriculture. Okay, so you can see this period 1951 to 1966. Now we'll be studying first, second, third individually also, but you should have an idea that first, second, third 5 year plans focus both on capital also and early agriculture also till 1966. Then scenarios changed. What happened between this? We will have a look. Okay, from 69 to 90, we had agrarian and social pivot. Social justice and infrastructure was the theme. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh 5 year plan. They were marked by Garibi Hatao, import substitution, and shifting toward infrastructure. And there were rolling plans and annual plans in between. Then, from 1992, we had the open economy model. LPG reforms were introduced and the economy was liberalized. Inclusive, sustainable growth, regional balance, and human development indicators. This is what I have just shown, a layout of the plan, how thematically the plans evolved. This is the plan holiday which happened here, Indo-China War, and this also same thing, 90 to 92. Okay, annual plans. Two annual plans came from 90 to 92, and plan holiday was there from 66 to 69. Okay, now any issues till now? I hope everything is going good. All good. Okay. First 5 year plan came from 1951 to 1956, which is known as Harrod Dormer model. Harrod Dormer model. Okay. The target growth of the plan was 2.1%, but it achieved 3.6%. Now, this is a huge thing, correct? Almost near to double. So, the first plan overperformed. Now, what was the focus of the first plan? It was agriculture, price stability, irrigation, rural development, power, and transport. So, the first plan's name was Harrod Dahmer model, and it had overperformed. Please remember, overperformed. So if the question comes, which plan is associated with Harrod Dahmer model, you should know it was the first 5 year plan. Okay. Second came the second 5 year plan from 56 to 61. Okay. This is known as Mahalanobis plan. The target growth was 4.5%, but the achieved growth was 4.3%, almost equal, just little bit it underperformed. Now, what was the focus here? Here, the focus was rapid industrialization, prioritizing basic capital goods industry. So, the second one, industries, was the theme. In first one, still there was a balance of agriculture, power, transport. But in second 5 year plan, the shift completely went to what? Industrialization. Then came industrial policy resolution in 1956. Okay. What was it? Exclusive government monopoly was there. Arms, ammunition, atomic energy, and railway transport. This monopoly will be held by government. State-led, but existing private companies permitted to stay. Coal and iron, steel, shipbuilding, aircraft, minerals, and oils. There were private industries, but there was heavy regulation, heavy licensing. Correct. Private ownership was allowed, but heavily subjected to government regulation on pricing and production quantity. Where automobiles, heavy machinery plants, chemical cements. So we were still public dominated. Private was there, but restricted. Private sector was restricted. Correct? So small scale industries, Carvey committee had come and highlighted that in rural development defined by max investment currently 1 crore. That is different. You just ignore this one. You can ignore this one. So that is the industrial policy resolution in 1956. Now the plans after 1956 have this influence. Correct? So the third 5 year plan, stagnation came. Our target was 5.6%, but what we could achieve is only the half of it. Actual was 2.4%. It attempted to balance heavy industry, food grain, but ultimately failed, leading to severe shortages. So that's why it is called the stagnation. 3 is unlucky number, no? So that's why third year plan failed. Okay. The target growth rate achieved was half. Then came plan holiday. So from 66 to 69, from 66 to 69, 3 annual plans came. Correct? The critical implementation of the new agricultural strategy, that was the green revolution. Widespread high yielding seeds, fertilizers, and intensive irrigation. So please remember, green revolution was during the time of plan holiday. It had started. Plan holiday means doesn't mean there were no plans only. There were plans, but there were 3 annual plans, not 5 year plans. 3 annual plans, not 5 year plans. Then came the fourth 5 year plan, the Gudgill strategy. Target was 5.7%. What we could achieve is 3.3%. So again, it underperformed. First time, strict prioritization of social justice to correct wealth concentration. So now the focus shifted to social justice. It was marked by massive structural shifts. Bank nationalization happened, abolition of privy purse, and Indo-Pak Indo-Pakistan war impacts happened. That's why the fourth 5-year plan was underachieved. Okay, so import substitution, as I told you, was the priority from plan 1 to 7. Substituting import with domestic production to achieve total self-reliance. Correct. So we were actually maintaining a wall, a safe wall to not allow international goods to enter into the Indian market. We were actually protective in nature. We were protective. Correct. So what happened because of this protective nature? We became a closed economy. We became a closed economy because this wall is there. No, we are not making anything come in. No international market, no companies. We are just relying on domestic industries. Correct? There is no technology transfer, nothing. Fifth 5-year plan target was 4.4% and it could achieve 4.8%. So this was again a good news. Correct? So the theme was poverty eradication and self-reliance. It introduced the minimum needs program, basic living standards, and 20-point program which targeted below poverty line families. Okay. Sixth 5-year plan target was 5.2, achievement was 5.6. So you can see both the plans overachieved. Correct. Now this is important because this Garibi Hatao slogan was given during this time. Garibi Hatao. Officially it was adopted. So it was a shift from pure industrialization toward infrastructure development and targeted employment generation. Now, the in this through this poverty became the focus. Seventh 5-year plan, the target was 5%, actual was 6.1%. Again, it overachieved, and it is known as the infrastructure plan because it maintained a heavy reliance on import substitution strategy while pushing rapid food grain and growth capacity. So this was the seventh 5-year plan, 85 to 90. Okay. 1991, we had a in 1991 we had a current account deficit crisis. We had a balance of payment crisis. Correct? So BOP crisis was there. Correct? Uh, Now there was to be a transition which was to be made, and transition was named as Rao Manmohan model. They unleashed LPG reforms to open the economy and open foreign investment and companies to come and invest in India. India ran out of foreign exchange reserves, so IMF told that fine, I'll give you a loan, but you need to shift your economy. You need to change some things in your budget. So the theme also changed in the upcoming 5-year plans. The open economy, 8 to 12th 5-year plan, we had an open economy. Okay. Post 1991, agriculture's GDP contribution dropped dramatically. Although services sector the services sector exploded, but the agriculture sector dropped. Industries risen from 13% to 24.6%. Service sector exploded, but agriculture came down. So 8th and ninth plans were driven by Rao Manmohan model. Financial sector becomes an integral part of planning and regional balance prioritized. 11th and 12th plan, the ultimate themes shift to faster, more inclusive and sustainable growth. Now the concept came was sustainable growth. Correct? The target was 8.2%, achieved was 6.9%. 10th plan, reduction of poverty ratio by 5%, narrowing gender gap by 50%, infant mortality rate 45, and universal primary education. These were just some of these things. So this is how the 5-year plans evolved from stage 1 to 2. That is, stage 1 was 1950 to 1990, where we were a closed economy. State dominance was there, and 5-year plan structure entered. Stage 2, we have a pivot where we introduced LPG reforms and we did global integration. And finally, we had modern era stage 3 Niti Ayog. 12th 5-year plan was the last. Please remember. 12th was the last. So now the Niti Ayog works on 15-year vision, 7-year strategy, and 3-year agenda. 15-year vision, okay, 7-year strategy, and 3-year action agenda. This is how the all the you can say the 5-year plans evolved in India. Correct? So what did we see? We saw how India progressed from a design constraint in 1947. Correct? We didn't choose single capitalist or socialist system. We chose a mix of both. Correct? We chose the mixed economic system. है ना? Then we had 4 plans. So these are pre-independence plans. These are pre-independence. Please remember. BGPS. I gave you this mnemonic BGPS. Correct? Bombay Plan, Gandhian Plan, People's Plan, Sarvodaya Plan. Okay? M.N. Roy for People's Plan, Acharya Narayan Agarwal, Gandhian Plan. Correct? And Jay Prakash Narayan, Sarvodaya Plan. Now they can give this and match the column also. You should know it. Okay? Then came the pillars of planning. The 4 pillars were growth, modernization, self-reliance, and equity. And then we started with planning. So first 3 plans focused on capital goods and early agriculture. The 4, 5, 6, 7 plans were more on Garibi Hatao, and then came the open plans. So the first 5-year plan, it overachieved. Second 5-year plan, it underachieved. First 5-year plan is called Harad-Dormer. Second is called Mahalanobis. Third May we had stagnation. Then we had a plan holiday 1966 to 69. 3 annual plans were introduced here. Correct? 3 annual plans. Then came the Gadgil strategy. So now you should know the fourth 5-year plan is known as the Gadgil strategy. Okay. Again underachieved. Then we had fifth 5-year plan, which overachieved. Fifth, sixth, seventh, all 3 overachieved. Fifth, sixth, seventh. But what we need to remember is sixth 5-year plan is Garibi Hatao slogan was given in sixth 5-year plan. Okay. Seventh 5-year plan, infrastructure plan. It relied heavily on infrastructure. Then came the 91 reforms. Eighth and ninth plans are known as Rao Manmohan plan, where liberalization was done. Correct. Our balance of payment was corrected. 11th and 12th plans were faster, more inclusive, and sustainable growth. Faster, more inclusive, sustainable growth. Okay. Then this is the overall stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3 evolution. So this was all about the important 5-year plans which we had. Okay, there are questions sometimes from 5-year plans directly as to which 5-year plan what happened. Or they can ask from the names, which is Harad Normer, which is Mahalanobis, which is Gadgil strategy, which is Rao Manmohan model. Okay, so you need to be ready with these answers. Let us do some questions on these. Okay, India's first 5-year plan covered the period of what was the first 5-year plan? Which tenure was the first 5-year plan? This cannot be the answer. Correct? So I have given confusing options here. Please tell me, please try everyone. What should be the answer for the first one? Try it out. Try it out. So, what was the first? 1951 to 56. This was the tenure of the first 5-year plan. 1951 to 56. Please remember. Okay, 1951 to 56. What was the name of the first plan? Harrod Domer. Okay, please remember. Which model was adopted in the second 5-year plan? So now see, they can ask questions based on models also. So which model was adopted? Was it Harrod Domer, Mahalanobis, Solo model, or Keynesian? They're asking about second. Second one was which one? This was the first one. So which is the correct answer? It is the Mahalanobis model. Correct? It was the second 5-year plan. This plan was based on the Mahalanobis model. Okay, clear? Which 5-year plan emphasized agriculture and irrigation? Such questions will be asked in exam. So you should know thematically which plan focused on that. Did first plan focus on that? No. Then which one? First one though focused on industrialization, correct? Okay, no, for agriculture and irrigation, first plan was there. Second focused on industrialization, yes. So the first plan focused on agriculture and food self-reliance. In terms of food self-reliance, correct? The second one had invested more in industrialization. Garibi Hatao was associated with which model? I had told you just now. Important question and it has come many times repeated. Garibi Hatao. Which one? So it was in the fifth plan. Actually, in some places it is given fifth, in some it is given sixth. Okay, so it is fifth plan wherein Garibi Hatao was given. Which 5-year plan is known as the rolling plan? Rolling plan. Which 5-year plan is known as the rolling plan? So it is the fifth plan. Rolling plan is 78 to 79, 79 to 80 was introduced by the Janta government. So please remember, fifth plan is rolling plan. First 5-year plan adopted Harrod-Domar model. Agriculture received priority. It achieved a growth rate higher than the target. Which of the following statement is correct? So I have brought correct statement-based problems also. Please try it out because now they have started coming. So what should be the answer here? Any ideas? So all three are correct. Okay, first was Harrod-Domar. Agriculture received priority and it achieved a higher. It overperformed. Remember, the first plan had overperformed. Please remember. Second one underperformed. And fourth, fifth, sixth also overperformed. They also overperformed. Okay, next. Heavy industries received emphasis during which plan? Heavy industries. First was for more on agriculture. So which one was that? I told you second plan was the one where industries were given a priority. Where industries were given a priority in second plan. Second plan was also Mahalanobis. Which 5-year plan is known for growth with stability? Growth with stability. Which 5-year plan? So that is fourth 5-year plan. Okay. There was growth with stability. Got it? Easy. The third plan was affected by wars and droughts. Plan holiday lasted from 66 to 69. Three annual plans were introduced during this period. Which of the following statement is correct? Which is correct? So all the three are correct. Okay. Third plan was the 3 is the unlucky number. No, so just remember third plan is unlucky. So it was affected by wars from 66 to 69. Okay. And in this meanwhile, there were 3 annual plans. The slogan Garibi Hatao belonged to. So actually this question got repeated, I guess. So it was the fifth plan. Please remember, fifth plan. Okay. Just a moment. Yeah. So you just correct it. Instead of writing here, just put it here. Garibi Hatao. Okay. Rolling plan was introduced by Morarji Desai government. Rolling plan covered 78 to 80. It was abandoned after 1980, which is correct. Which of the following statements are correct? Quick, quick. So all three statements are correct. Rolling plan was introduced by Morarji Desai government. It came in 78 to 80 and it was abandoned in 1980. So rolling plan is 78 to 80. Please remember. 1978 to 80. Rolling plan. Okay. Which 5-year plan focused on modernization and self-reliance? Important question. Modernization, self-reliance. Modernization and self-reliance. Which one was it? So it was the sixth plan. Okay. Which focused on modernization. Eighth plan began in 1992. It coincided with economic reforms, achieved over 6% growth. Which of the following statement is correct? About the eighth plan. So all three are correct. It started when around 1992 economic crisis. It coincided with economic reforms and the target achieved growth rate was 6%. Okay. So very important. Please keep in mind. 12th 5-year plan covered 2012 to 17. The theme was faster, more inclusive and sustainable growth. 5-year plans ended with abolition of planning commission. Which of the following statement is correct? Think, think and answer. It is a good question. Statement problem. So which is correct? All three are correct. Okay. 12th 5-year plan had covered 2012 to 17. Then came the planning commission uh, abolition and Niti Aayog was made. Correct. And it focused on faster, more inclusive and sustainable growth. Easy. Planning commission was established in. So last question for today. When was the planning commission established? And the PM is the chairperson. Please remember. So when was it introduced? 1950. 1950. Please remember. Planning Commission was established in 1950. Okay. So friends, this was the topic for today. 5-year plans. I hope it helped you. I've solved some questions also. Please revise this. Please solve mock questions, practice questions, keep practicing hard. Don't lose hope if you're scoring less in mock tests or live mock tests. Mock tests numbers don't decide the real marks of your exam. Don't get very happy also if you're scoring very well in the exam. The numbers keep fluctuating. Okay, just keep giving your best, and we hope to meet soon with the next topic. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day. Thank you.